Hey everybody, Nathan here from Star Wars Beyond the Films over at StarWarsReport.com. I want to give you a quick tour of what you get in the Star Wars the Card Game, the LCG from Fantasy Flight Games, Starter Set, a card game of galactic conflict for 2 players. Of course, there is the box. The box on the back is going to give to us information about what's in the set. We, of course, have already seen this in the previous unboxing video. You also have your rulebook, your rules of play, which you can also find as a PDF on Fantasy Flight Games' website, along with some cool video tutorials. No, I don't work for them. I just really, so far, have been digging their product, and I wanted to share it for those who might be a little bit scared away by the price tag. We have our little stop. Don't forget, you can also watch the video tutorial instead of reading the rulebook thing that was pointed out in the unboxing, along with that little booklet of other Fantasy Flight Games materials that are available, kind of the advertisement book that, again, some people got in the mail. Now, there's also a ton of tokens and a ton of cards, and that's the real meat of this thing. Of the non-token, non-card stuff, though, we have the Death Star dial, which some folks thought, wow, that looks huge. Look at it compared to a card. Okay, Death Star dial is actually pretty small, but it is bigger than a maneuver token from the X-Wing game. We have our Balance of the Force token, also not as wide as a card, but much smaller. This is what shows us whether the dark side or the light side has the balance of the Force at the moment to give them an advantage in gameplay. You do, of course, get a little proof of purchase and a little spare connector. No spare Death Star dial, but a spare connector in case, I guess, one of them gets lost if you keep taking it apart, which is very difficult to do without breaking the thing or bending the cardboard. These are all the little cardboard pieces like with the X-Wing game. We have 10 shield tokens over here, those blue ones. We have a grand total here of, I believe it's 44 focus tokens. That's what you use to exhaust your cards, basically. The shield tokens are very much like what you see in the X-Wing game. They absorb 1 damage from an attack on a particular card or objective. We have our actual damage counters here. We have 12 damage counters of 3, then along with that 30 damage counters of 1. Of course, when you get to the point where you use 2 of those, the next one gets a 3. You just keep recycling them out of a token pool. Then you have all the actual cards, and there is a ton of cards in this, though you're probably not going to be getting a chance to play as 2 of the factions as far as at least mainstream gameplay. We'll see a little bit about that in a moment. You have, of course, your Force cards. These are the ones that you use to attach to the different cards to have the Force struggle at the end of the individual turn, etc., etc. Only 3 of these for each side, but really that's all that you need is 3 to each side. The game only allows 3 at a time. Then we have our different sides here. Now, the light side is pretty much what you're seeing on screen right now. You have the Jedi faction, the Rebel Alliance faction, and the Smugglers and Spies faction. Now, the Jedi affiliation here comes with, in this case, objective sets 1 through 7. Then we move to the Rebel Alliance faction, get objective sets 8 through 14. Then we get 1 initial Smugglers and Spies faction objective set, which is objective set 8, or excuse me, set 15. I'm trying to do the math in my head because I can't see the numbers through the screen here. It's objective set 15. Then we get the neutral objective sets 16, 17, and 18, plus because they're used in both of the decks that they are set up within the starter set here, you actually have a separate duplicate of objective set 18 here. Then you move to the dark side, and the dark side is essentially what you're seeing on screen right now. You got the Sith, Imperial Navy, and Scum and Villainy faction, though again, it's more focused on the first 2 rather than the latter, and you have your neutral cards out there off to the side. You have then the Sith faction, which goes all the way up through objective set, I'm not even going to attempt, objective set 25, which then picks up with objective set number 26 for the Imperial Navy, taking us all the way up through, I believe it is objective set 32. Our Scum and Villainy is objective set 33 only. Then we pick up with neutral cards, objective sets 35, 36, or excuse me, 34, 35, and 36, and an extra copy of 36. So you get the first 36 objective sets, and each objective set has 6 cards in it, so that's a lot of cards, and you get duplicates of 2 of the neutral sets, one for either side, light side or dark side. It is a very impressive sized set here. You get everything that you need to play. You can play games where you are focusing on the Jedi versus Sith, or perhaps Jedi versus Imperial Navy, or Rebel Alliance versus Sith, Rebel Alliance versus Imperial Navy. Again, you're not going to do much with Smugglers and Spies or Scum and Villainy yet, but that's something that is coming more in future expansions. They've already announced several of those so-called Force Packs. And of course, this is the full first set. You have no need to go out and buy boosters because everything you need to play is in here of those first 36 objective sets. The future expansions will continue on later with other new objective sets, but again, any of those Force Packs will come with, I think it's 60 cards, and that's 10 objective sets and everything that you need. You'll never have to buy a booster pack and just randomly get cards. That's the beauty of a LCG, a living card game. Again, this is Nathan from Star Wars Beyond the Films over at StarWarsReport.com. Thank you for watching, and we will be back as we take a look at each individual objective set and exactly what you get here with this starter in terms of strategy, in terms of what cards are available to you. We'll look at those in depth in another series of videos, which I guess, if there's 36 objective sets, means 36 more short videos. Holy crap.